Hello, I'm Beck from Woland, from Finland, and nice to meet you.
Nice to meet So I have a burning question for you, and it's about your music. Of course, Scandinavian bands often incorporate, mythology and folk, folk fairy tales and things like that. But I'm really interested in how you pull that together in your music, and where did the interest come from? From childhood? From what is this about? Tell me how you got this.
Well, I don't personally believe in fairy tales, so the mythology part that we use is more like ancient Greek kind of mythos and stories about the gods, and they're more like symbolical things that we use to recreate or simulate things in the present. So it's not about trolls and stuff like that. It's more of a spiritual symbolism.
So with that being said, how does this come into your personal life? Of course, it's incorporated in your music, and this is a story you tell, but do you have some sort of ritual, some sort of belief system that is based on this in your personal life?
No.
At least you're honest.
No, it's, I mean, I read a lot, and I'm really interested in all this, like philosophy and stuff like that, so of course many of these writers and poets and whatnot, legends are basing their stuff on everything from Sisyphus and stuff like that, and Prometheus, and so it's just a fascinating way for me to express certain things. It's not so much a personal belief system or anything. I'm quite the atheist or anti-belief.
So who writes the music?
Most of the music is made by our guitarist.
Really?
Yeah, he's an extremely talented guy, but we do this back and forth thing that he writes and records something, then sends it over to me, and then I get my opinion, and then he twitches it around a little bit, and then we go through it again. So.
Okay. And with that being said, we have the two masterminds. You have a lot of flamenco and jazz elements to your music. How did that happen? How did that come together? It's very unique.
Quite naturally, actually, because we want to make something that differs a little bit from the traditional, straightforward approach. And we're fortunate enough to have a lot of super talented friends in the music industry, or outside the music industry, but still. So when we realized that we wanted like a piano interlude here or there, or some acoustic guitar stuff, and so we just basically asked the best guys that we know to participate.
That actually, that flows right into my next question for you. You've had a lot of guest performers and artists. What is the process? So you're fortunate to have these people in your life. How did you select these individuals? Was it, how did you select these individuals? And with that being said, how easy was that process? Working with artists, it can be very hard to bring them in with, all of the things they have going on.
Yeah, well, it was both easy and difficult. So the selection was easy.
Okay.
Like Geir from Demo Borger.
Mm-hmm.
So I just met him a year ago, actually in this hotel at the after party, and we were talking about his old band Optima Berserk, where he sang backing vocals. And then he just said he has a very beautiful boy band voice.
Oh.
And I said, well, you should sing on our album.
Right.
And he said, he can.
Right.
So that was it.
That was it.
And Matthias from Fintroll lives close to my place, and we're very good friends. So I just invited him over for some beers, and we did his parts.
Made the magic.
Yeah, and so it was quite easy for most parts. But then again, one of the jazz pianists that we have, he's let's say an artist with a big A. So
artist with a big A.
So it's hard to get a hold of him. He doesn't want to do stuff. He's very, let's say, engaged in his private life.
Right.
So we had to wait quite some while to get those parts.
I guess the question that I want to ask as well is, Hyperion, tell me about this.
The album in general, the
Yes,
name,
yeah.
or
Just tell me about this in general. The album, the everything. What do you,
everything.
everything. Tell me anything.
Everything. Well, do you have like 5 hours?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, where should we
Well,
start?
this is a broad question.
It's a very broad question. Well, Hyperion itself comes also from the Greek old literature. It's one of the Titans, and it means Hyperion was like the father of the sun,
Right.
and or directly translated to English is him in the high one, like, or him in the sky, or it's
Divinative.
kind of yes. So when you put them together, Woland Hyperion, so it's like Woland in the highest. So it fitted the lyrical theme and all that very nicely.
Yes.
And then we just started basically working from there forwards to song by song, and most of the songs are like the flip side of general black metal-esque
Right.
stuff, because I used to do this really, really dirty, gritty, destructive black metal stuff for many years, and
Right.
that's what I grew up on,
Right.
basically. So now I wanted to do something else that is more illuminating or like spiritual, and yeah,
Right.
so it's the same kind but the flip side, basically, and all the songs are quite a lot based on that fact about hedonism and enlightenment. And
So you're taking two, black and white, two massively opposing things, and you're combining them to create this atmosphere, to create this sound, with
Yeah.
your background, with everything. Really.
basically, yeah, it's a mix of everything that we have done in the past, and we made it into a package that we find appealing.
So it's definitely evolved.
Yeah, well, yeah, as a band we haven't evolved that much because it's so new, but let's say
Right.
it's evolved from everything that we've done previously.
So your live performance with the band.
Mm.
Are you primarily a band that tours and plays in Europe? What has been your experience with touring? Have you been to the States? What is your feedback from the fans in your live show?
Well, we haven't had the time to tour that much because the album has been out for a couple of months now.
Right.
So we basically just done a few festivals here and there, and we're going to continue that during the summer. So we just have mainly European festivals at the moment, but we're looking for more extensive tours for the autumn.
Absolutely.
And of course, our album is out, you know, in the States and I think Japan and all that.
Right.
So we'll just have to see where it takes us. But we'll definitely do some touring.
Okay.
But
So,
yeah.
well, my question would be, are you receiving feedback from your fans and from your peers, you know, what you're trying to project and the information you are providing for your listeners? Are you receiving feedback that you, how do I word this? What you're trying to project, is that being received?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
Right.
But and actually, I've been a little bit concerned about it at first, at how it will be like translated live.
Right.
Because we have on the album we have like an insane amount of tracks and layers and stuff like that. So, but what the audience had told me after the shows that they were also kind of skeptic coming to the show,
Absolutely.
but it was very rewarding to see that it got translated. So we really work hard on getting the message and the feeling of the album and the music also during performances.
Okay.
And of course, sometimes when we're working on a limited budget or you have to fly somewhere, so we don't have this massive amounts of equipment or lights with us, but I think we're starting to be pretty precise on what we want and what we want to do and how we will do it. So.
Well, I did see your live show, and of course it was my first time seeing your live show, and being in Norway, of course, there's a lot of expectations, and especially your style, your sound is so many different things. So it was very intriguing to me to see all of this kind of put together, especially here in Norway at a heavy metal festival, primarily a black metal festival. You have a lot of energy, very enigmatic. It was very, it was energetic. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
So I definitely think your message is coming across.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, mission accomplished.
Exactly.